Easy tigers or lions or dogs or cats or whichever spirit animal you are feeling like you are right now. Personally, feeling a bit like a koala bear or a sloth. These winter months turn me into a bit of a hibernating creature, and I think the cozy tracksuits definitely have that vibe as well. But I'm still active and on the ball and full of energy to tell you what is going on with One More Thing as we start to wrap up the year, basically. So I've pretty much planned everything that's going to be happening now throughout December on One More Thing, besides the impromptu reactionary things that we like to do as well. There's a massive track going out for a good cause next week. We got mixes galore. If you're up for a DJ competition, and I was banging on about DJ mixes a little while ago, if you're up for getting involved in a DJ competition, we have got something sick for you this time next week. Jeez. In the meantime, this week is all about massive long form quality bits of content. Seriously, check this out. If you're on our Patreon, if you support us on Patreon, you will be able to see this round about the time that this video goes live. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until Wednesday. Check this out. This is his first ever interview. This is Titan, an ex-UK strongman turned DJ. Titan.
Hello. How are we doing?
I'm very well, Harvey. I've just found out this is your first ever interview. This is a moment and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm a little bit nervous, I can't lie.
Yeah, no, I'm right in your face as well. Like, tell me about your life. We're about to tell a story of the last couple of years of your life has changed beyond recognition. If someone had come to you before 2022 and told you that you would be traveling the UK, Europe, eventually the world as a DJ, that you'd be, on lineups and you'd be playing to hundreds, thousands of people, what would your reaction have been?
Not a chance.
So how many years of that? So you had a few years of competing.
I had 4 years of training, 3 years of competing, came second twice in the UK's under-23s, and then...
So one of the strongest men of that age in the UK at that time was you.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's mad.
So this was your life, and at the time, music was happening in the gym.
Yeah, music was...
Did you have friends who were out raving and stuff? Was there that kind of interest or that distraction, or you could see that within your kind of social circle, or were you so into the trading discipline?
I was just so locked in on what I was doing with training. I used to live in Ollerton and drive from Ollerton to Rotherham, the Ultraflex, because that was the best gym around, and that was an hour every day there and back. So 2 hours just driving every day in pursuit of this goal. So I didn't really get much time. My days were spent either traveling to the gym, eating, cooking, sleeping, or training, and I did that for 3 years, just repetitive.
There's almost a purity in that, though, isn't there? Yeah. Like a monk-like existence, really, isn't there? That was your dedication.
That's how a lot of bodybuilders are referred to. I think it's less so for strongmen for whatever reason. Sorry, I forgot to mention when I ended up transitioning over to DJing. Nick, the owner of Me & Co, he also owns an events company called Groovebox. And they gave me my first ever big set supporting Pendulum. Pendulum, Cameron Crooked, and Mephius. And
you owe Nick 10% of everything you earn.
yeah, literally. He did me a solid there. And
we want to get to your transition, but I don't want to rush to it really in a way. I want to kind of savor some of your 20s here in that dedication. Yeah. But then I'm in the injury then, because this is the point. We talked about a transition quite lightly, but that flip between your sporting life and your sonic life now, your music life. There's a huge
divide,
ravine in the middle of there, isn't there, that we need to traverse. So your injury, what happens, and how painful was that?
So I think in terms of pain, it was a lot more mental and psychological damage that it did.
It's a totally unique interview. It was a really random setup. The interview has actually been sampled for his new mix, which is dropping on Wednesday. And then the interview is dropping later on in the evening. Actually, his mix might be dropping sooner than that. I should be aware of this. I'm not, but the interview drops on Wednesday. That's wicked. Now, I gave you a tiny little teaser of this, rather silly one, last Friday. Now, let's have a bit of a longer section now from Mark's first ever video interview. This is going to go live on Friday. So check this out. This is with Screamarts, who's dropped a beautiful, beautiful album, Antithesis. Check it out.
I will listen to some maybe a little bit cheesy house, once in a while, but then I'd really enjoy some very complex music like Cohen Sound or Noisia or something. So I feel like it's quite broad in my music taste is quite broad in a way. And I was like, what do you guys think? If I'd mixed that, one track totally contradicting the other. Ironically, that's exactly what I said. I didn't actually plan that when I sent it out like that, but somehow subconsciously it must have happened because I said that before, literally in a status, and I was asking people about what do you think if one track is super heavy and the next is super mellow? Like, would you be up for something like that? Something that almost contradicts itself and it's basically the opposite of a concept album, which I'm also a big fan of. So there's also another contradiction there.
Yeah, man.
And people were very torn about it. That most people were like, I don't know if that works because people will expect one thing and then they'll hear another thing and then like maybe it gets them confused. But I was kind of excited about that idea, to show everything you got in one project and to have an album that can be listened to by so many different people because they might skip a track or two. I'm not mad about that, because they might be like, oh, this is way too heavy for my taste. But the next track, they're going to be like, oh, this garage vibe, I really feel this one, and with the vocals and everything. I feel like it really has something for everyone, and that embodies drum and bass for me as well.
Deep. Huge props to Mark, and Mark will be with us in just 1 second, aka Chiz, of course, with his freshest drum and bass playlist updates. And of course, as well, previously last week on Friday, we dropped Annalise's first podcast as well, with Ecstatic. So that's absolutely amazing. Here is a little clip. It's just an audio one. Here's a little clip of that.
Totally different question now. I saw that you have some really cool tattoos. I've got some tattoos as well, but no. What do tattoos mean to you?
Not all of them have a meaning.
Okay.
I've tried to think of meanings for pretty much all of them, but not all of them do. Tattooing to me is a way of expressing myself. So this is like my canvas. I've got a lot of different emotions on there. I've got some like memorial pieces. I used to be a sushi chef, like before I got into the music scene, which a lot of people don't know. So I have like a few sushi tattoos on my legs, but I think, it's a way of expressing myself. The same with my hair color, stretched ears and whatnot. I like to be bright. I like to stand out, be a bit different. I don't have sleeves, like nothing is planned. This whole leg I didn't sit down and go, right, I'm going to get this here, this here. I just go to the tattoo artist and I'm like, right, where do you think this would look best?
Absolutely sick. That's 3 massive interviews dropping this week. We've got loads and loads and loads more stuff as well. There's the demo drop on Thursday. So please, if you're up with a demo drop, send your demos at one-more-thing.co.uk. And we have also got loads and loads of other articles. This video is running late today because we put up 2 articles. The Minor Forms article, which I think I was banging on about all of last week and never got around to putting up, that is now up. That's an ode, a letter to Room 2, a love letter to Room 2. And we're going to explore the concept of Room 2s tomorrow on my video. And also the Rave for Roofs news piece as well, which is Shanice, a new member of our team who I'm mentoring. It's her first article as well. And just for good measure, just so everybody's articles are all shouted about and waggled under your noses aggressively, Tom Cousin as well, the other new mentee who we've taken on board. His article is live as well. So that's with APOM, and that was a free download. That was last week. So there we go. That's all of the updates from me. Massive week, and it's just going to ramp up and up and up as we go into a massive December. And I've got something really sick planned for January as well. All systems go. One more thing, HQ. Now here is Chiz, and he's gone on a liquid tip and a jump up tip. Yeah, all the flavors. Until tomorrow. Ciao.
What is happening, my lovely people? New week, same drills. My name is Chiz, and I've updated the freshest drum and bass playlist over on Spotify with some of the freshest bangers and releases out this past week in the wonderful world of drum and bass. Whatever tickles your pickle drum and bass wise, I've got you covered on this playlist. This is a big reminder to any self-releasing producers. Please send me an email to the email address that I am pointing at right now on this screen. If it's fresh, if it's drum and bass, I want it on the playlist. Now, this week has been a wonderful week for Jump Up. Jump Up bangers galore this week. Starting off with XL and Riptide. They've done some remixes of Nick the Lot's Gravitational Pull and Nice and Crisp, which is out now on Pick the Lock. Georgie Riot, Engage, is out now on her own imprint, Riot Records. Absolute banger. Big up Georgie. Also Amplify and Blue Bomber, Ring the Alarm, out now on New Form. Sub Killers, Magistrate and Profile, Still in Action, is out now on Low Down Deep. Now, speaking of, Jump Up, I just wanted to sort of highlight something that happened this past week. Tragically, Lou Simpson, aka Noxic, who was a massively featured artist on this playlist, he tragically lost his life last week, and the whole drum and bass scene, and Manchester in particular, were pouring out with tributes. He was taken too soon, so just wanted to say rest in eternal power to Noxic and big up. Now, I want to highlight some of my choices this week, and I sort of wanted to bring that down to maybe what kind of mood I'm in when I'm making these selections. I can't stress enough how difficult it is week upon week to pick my top tracks. And this week I think it sort of maybe reflects what mood I was in. I have chosen some real, more on the softer liquid type of thing. These are some atmospheric and just downright lush bangers. So yeah, I shall see you guys at the same time next week. These are Chiz's choices. Have a good week, people. See you next time.